Shalom, shalom. Call HALALYAM La, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great MILLSTONE, the teacher move well. Peace and salutations be to the hopeful elect. I'm Brother Tazawam coming at you from the prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. All right. And this lesson is going to be going into subject to time and subjection to time. Okay. Let's grab this. This is the book of James, chapter 4, and verse 14. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. All right, so we have a little time to live. Okay, and then what? We vanish away, man. All right, and the thing that keeps us anxious, the thing that keeps us making haste is time. You know, a lot of things are born from being subject to time. You know, it's you got what? Work is a great example to show you that you're subject to time, man. You know, when you working, they got something called work-life balance, because you have a certain time that you're gonna be at work, and you have a certain time that you can be at home before you come back to work, before you have to come back to work. You know, and that's where you have to go to make your living. They call it making your living, because you're making money to, or they even call it earning your living, because you're working to live. You know, literally, and all of it is time consuming. You know, they say time is money. Time is something that you can never get back. Okay, time is you know, a lot of things revolve around time. So you do certain things in your life considering the time you have to do it. All right, because our time, like the scripture just said here, what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. Okay. I think there's another one. In the book of Psalms, chapter 103 and verse 14, he says, "For he knoweth our frame, he remembereth that we are dust." And that just also means that we're in these fleshly bodies, we're subject to sin. Okay, we're subject to a lot of things in these bodies, man. There's limitations put on these bodies, and you can't really do much. You can't, you know, you when you jump and you come right back to the earth, you realize that you're subject to what they will call gravity, you know, because you can't fly. Okay, when you run and you realize you can't run forever, you're subject to what? These bodies, because you realize these bodies tire out and they can't run forever. You know, you get hungry, you know, you realize that you're subject to these bodies, you're subject to your stomach, because it gets hungry. And if you don't feed it, guess what? Your body's going to start to deteriorate because it's running out of the energy that is used to maintain it. All right, you're subject to time because no matter how you slice it, if you were born in this world, you have an end date. If you have a birth date, you also have a death date. That's why they have death certificates as well as they have birth certificates. When you're born, that's why when we go into the kingdom, we're going to be, Lord willing, be that number. We're going to be translated. That's going to show what that you're gonna live forever because you're being translated, man. But even you got the 2/3 that's gonna be born into the kingdom, but they're not gonna die, man. They're just gonna have to be put down on this side and be recreated, man. Okay, but all these things, that there's to every light that there's a shadow, man. When the sun came, when the light came, there came darkness. When there was darkness, there was light, and there's light, there's darkness. And war was bred from peace. Hate was bred from love. Death was bred from birth, man. Scriptures say the living. Matter of fact, if I can grab it real quick and come back to this, the living is. So Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 5, it says, "For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything, neither have they any more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten." So the living know that they shall die, man. They know that there's going to come a day where the life that they've been living, the breath that they've been breathing will cease and will come to a halt. Okay? Verse 4, you got verse 4 in Ecclesiastes chapter 9. It says, "For to him that is joined to all the living, there is hope." For a living dog is better than a dead lion. Okay, so there is hope. What happens when you're living? You have hope. What do people hope? They always hope what? For more time. There's a certain movie. There's a movie called Time. You can watch these movies going into time, and it's all about people fighting for more time to live. Your everybody's deep desires and true wish is to live forever, man. And you see that when you come into a happy moment or you come into a loving time or a good time in your life, you wish that it could last forever, but you know that it won't because you're subject to time. It says back to the book of Psalms, chapter 103, verse 15. "As for man, his days are as grass, as a flower of the field, so he flourisheth. For the wind passeth over it, and it is gone, and the place thereof shall know it no more." All right, so that's how our days are, man. We're like grass, like the flower of the field. You see, one day you see a flower in your yard, next day you come out, this shit gone, man. Damn, what happened to the flower? I just had some flowers here. They withered away, they died, withered away, and crusted over. That's how we are, man, in these fleshly bodies. One day you are, and the next day you aren't. And it's not literally the next day, but one day you are, and one day you aren't, man. Okay? But, scriptures say all things in the earth hath an end, man. If I can see if I can grab that. Oh, look at this. It says, "But the mercy of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, is from everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him, and his righteousness unto children's children." So, hey, you were an elect in your past life, you're an elect in this life, because the Lord's mercy is everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him. From the beginning, as the Lord kept his mercy upon you, man. Thousands and thousands of years, all this time you've been born again, brought back. And the Lord has had mercy on you in every life because what? His mercy is forever. And his mercy endureth forever, and he has kept the promises and covenants. Romans 8 and 19, it says, "For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of Yahawah, man. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly. Okay, so we're subject to what? Vanity. All right, not willing. So not of our own will were we made subject to vanity. We had to be subject to time. We had to be subject to a lot of things in this world that it's just temporary, and it's vanity because it is temporary. You know, it's vain because it's temporary, man. You know, that's why Solomon was saying, behold all things that are done, and all the labors and works that are done in the earth, and behold all this vanity and vexation of spirit. Why? Because it is not forever. You know, you gain something or you obtain something, and you can't keep it forever. Even Solomon was saying, though he has the throne, he shall not have it forever, because it shall be passed on to somebody that may even be wicked. You know, he's going to pass away, and then somebody else is going to take it. And they're going to have it for a time. Somebody else is going to take it after them, because, you know, that's why it's saying it's all vanity and vexation. You know, because you have it for a moment and then it's gone, you know. And from happiness, hatred is bred, man. From love, love breeds hate. Because when you love something so much, how much more is it going to hurt when you lose it, or when it comes time for it to depart? It says, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. Who hath subjected the same in hope, man. So it says that's our earnest expectation, you know, of the creature. It says, waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of Yahawah, waits for that's that true desire deep down. We're waiting for immortality, man, to live forever. It says, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into glorious liberty of the children of Yahawah. All right, so the creation, all the Lord's creation it's going to be delivered from the bondage of corruption into glorious liberty, man, of the children of Yahawah. So you got these animals waiting. The animals, the plants, the water, everything in this world that lives, that breathes air, is waiting for Israel to come back into rulership. Even these other nations over there crying, come home, Israel, come home, Israel. You know, we need you. It says, for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. Okay, it says, and not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. So we want to know the redemption of our body, man. You waking up in pain and aching, and you like, fuck, man, I hate this life, man. You know, oh, what the fuck? Why do I have to go through this? Why do I have to go through that? You know, but you're subject to these things. You have no choice but to walk through these things, man. The Lord is observing your walk. Okay, he's watching you. Okay, he's observing you constantly. Scripture say the Lord's eyes are in every place, beholding the good and the evil. Okay, so there's going to come a time where when that body of yours does pass away, does give up the ghost, and you return into the Lord, he's going to tell you about yourself, what you've done good and what you've done bad, and what's going to be your reward for it, man. You know, but we're waiting for a time that we won't have to continue with these fleshly bodies, man, and weakness and in pain and sadness and hurt and sorrow. You know, and we got to deal with the afflictions of our mind constantly wailing on us. I mean, you wake up and your mind beating your ass. You know, you got a lot on your mind, and you're just like, damn. You know, my brothers be going through it, man. And they just be sitting down, just like thinking, like, damn, one day all this is gonna come to an end. And so, what is the point? You know, and you're just sitting there like, damn, what? You know, but all you can do is just do the work of the Lord, Yahawah. And the more you are increased in these and understanding these things, the more you become sorrowful. Okay, because you can go and obtain, but you know you're not going to keep it. You know, so that's why we hope, man. We are prisoners of hope, because we hope that we can enter into an everlasting peace. And one thing that hurts the most is when you see your loved ones that you grew up with and you knew and love, or your brothers, you know, or your children, or, you know, whatever it may be, or even your mother. You see your mother and your father pass away from old age, you know, or from sickness or from disease, or somehow they get taken out of the world, and you wish that they can be there with you forever, man. You know, you cry and you mourn because you wanted them to stay. But eventually that was going to have to happen to them some way or another, man. You know, there's nothing that you can do about it, man. You know that. So we hope and we wait for that limitation of time to be lifted up off of us, because that also is, you know, considered to be like I want to say it. It's considered to be a punishment, man, because when sin was made known to us, when we came into sin, that's when the subjection of time came to us. Matter of fact, if I can grab that, it says in the book of Genesis, in the book of Genesis chapter 2 and verse 16. This is where it all started. This is when time was brought down upon us. It says, "And the Lord YAHAWASHI commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die." And the Lord said, you will surely die. What does that mean? And did he die as soon as he ate it? No. But time came down into him, and that was when death was born. You know? It says, yeah, that was it on that. But that was when death was born, man. You know? I want to grab, let me see. All right, so this is a book of 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 8. "But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day." Okay, so one day to the Lord is 1,000 years to us, man. That's a long time. If we're lucky, we could see 80 years, but we don't even get close to 1/10 of that, man. 100 years. Okay, we barely get close to 100 years, man. And Noah lived to be 900. He lived to be almost a day in the Lord's time, man. Matter of fact, let me see. Lived. It says in the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 29, "And all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died." So Noah came the closest to a day, you know, living with the Lord, man. You know, living on earth. He came the closest to a day with the Lord. All right, and that's just a day, man. Okay, so soon we won't have to be subject to time anymore. And all these things that we're subject to will come to an end. Corruption will come to an end. And, you know, even the scriptures say that. I can grab it and close out with that. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 52. "In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible. Woo-wee! And we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So that's when we're going to know the redemption, to know the redemption of our bodies, man. That's when we're going to know at the last trump, the Lord is going to change us, man. We're going to live forever with him. So until next time, Yahshua, give all glory, honor, praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.